straighten me out. Good morning to Sri Sri Radhakala Chanchi Dham. Good morning to all of the assembled devotees. Thank you, Vita. We're reading from Canto 9, Chapter 14. Oh, thank you. And we're going to be covering texts 1 through 14, focusing on 3. But I've got to tell you, I don't know what's going on, Nanda Braj. I mean, with a kirtan like that, why am I up here singing? You've done the preaching. That's preaching in itself. A lively kirtan. Srila Prabhupada, I would imagine he would really love this. I really would. Thank you for coming. There's so many things you could be doing, but you're here. Incidentally, Antaryami, presenting to the best of my ability the scriptures. And I always say that I'm here to serve my guru. So if there's any imperfection, it's on me. It's not him. You always like to offer up to guru something that is acceptable to Srila Prabhupada to offer up the line of the parampara. So I will do my very, very best. And I also ask, unless it's a question and answer session, don't just shout out randomly during the text. That kind of takes my focus off. And it's like, duh, I don't know what to do after that. So please, out of respect for the scriptures. But yes, we do like questions. So before we start, we always like to start off with Jaya Radha Madhava. I want to do it a little bit differently because I've been listening to different ways that it's been done. So how about I sing and then you repeat? And then maybe that way I can stay on track with the time and not go over. Because I really love singing Jaya Radha Madhava. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashoda Nandana Braja Jararanjanan Yashoda Nandana Braja Jararanjanan Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Yashoda Nandana Braja Jararanjanan. Yashoda Nandana Braja Jararanjanan. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Radha Kalachandji, Radha Kalachandji Radhi. Jaya Jaya Jagannath, 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 Jaya Jaya Jagannath. Jaya Jaya Baladev, 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 Jaya Jaya Baladev. Jaya Jaya Subhadra, 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 Jaya Jaya Subhadra. Jaya Jaya Gornitai, 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 Jaya Jaya Gornitai. Nitai Goro Haribol, 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 Nitai Goro Haribol. Jai Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Jai Shri Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. That is such a sweet song, and yes, granted, I do get carried away, and I like hearing it. It is so sweet and so transcendental. So we're starting at the beginning of chapter 14. So and I've heard different ways of doing it. When you're starting a chapter, are you reading the introduction also in addition to what's been the procedure? Because I've tried to listen to all variations. Yes, and I'm trying to look at the time and how important it is to focus on a hard stop at a particular time. So I understand the significance, but I want to stay on track and stay with the uniformity. And looking at, we're covering chapter 14, uh, text Canto 9, and it covers King Purava, Purav, Purava, Enchanted by Urvasi. Thank you so much, Adi Krishna. And I'm looking at the beginning of it. It has some really relevant information. So this is oh yeah, it's a lot. Okay, we've got, what, technically, it's important. It has, if we go through and someone volunteers to read it, I think it's really relevant, at least this time. What's your thought, Nandabraj? We're covering 14. So is that, should we just go into the, and now I'm asking for a response. Should we? Yes, Mother Kunti, I'm asking for a response now. How do you feel? I mean, this is up to you, because I have no problem. I enjoy it. I'm yours. Okay.
How about we read the verses and we do two
Yes.
each person do two, and it'll kind of quicken it up a little bit. What do you think about that? How do you feel about that?
You're talking about the 1 through 14, the
Yeah,
verses
yeah.
here. Yeah, let's do that. But before we do that, let's start with honoring the reading of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Do you put the Narayana prayer up also? Oh, no?
Oh.
Will you turn that, because I'm twisting my head? The first, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. The Narayana prayers. Narayana Namaskrityam. Naram Cheva Narottamam. Devam Saraswatam Vyasam. Tato Jayam Udavarayat. Yeah. If you take it up a little bit, because we probably won't have time to honor what it really means. Well, all right, I guess we could. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead Narayana, unto Narayana Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Okay, is that it? Oh, okay. Nasta prayasva abhadreshu. Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya. Bhagavati Uttama Sloka. Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtiki. By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. And I believe there's, okay. Om Jnana Timarandasya. Gananjana Shalakaya. Chakshun Militam Yena. Tashmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkest of ignorance. My spiritual master opened my eyes with the torch of knowledge. I offer my most sincere and humble respects to my spiritual master. So let's start by reading the the translation, please? Text 1. And we have enough so that if everyone wants, you can start, you can read.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Prabhu.
Srila Sukadev Goswami said to Maharaj Parikshit, O king, thus far you have heard the descriptions of the dynasty of the sun god. Now hear the most glorious and purifying description of the dynasty of the moon god. This description mentions kings like Aila, Pururava, and whom it is glorious to hear. Lord Vishnu, Garbhodakshai Vishnu, is also known as Sahasra Sirasa Purusha. From the lake of his navel sprang a lotus, on which the Lord Brahma was generated. Atri, the son of Lord Brahma, was qualified as his father.
Next.
From Atri's tears of jubilation was born a son named Soma, the moon, who was full of soothing rays. Lord Brahma appointed him the director of the Brahmanas, drugs, and luminaries. After conquering the 3 worlds, the upper, middle, and lower planetary systems, Soma, the moon god, performed a great sacrifice known as the Rajasuya Yagya. Because he was very much puffed up, he forcibly kidnapped Brihaspati's wife, whose name was Tara.
Although requested again and again by Brihaspati, the spiritual master of the demigods, Soma did not return Tara. This was due to his false pride. Consequently, a fight ensued between the demigods and the demons. Because of enmity between Brihaspati and Shukra, Shukra took the side of the moon god and was joined by the demons. But Lord Shiva, because of affection for the son of his spiritual master, joined the side of Brihaspati and was accompanied by all the ghosts and hobgoblins.
King Indra, accompanied by all kinds of demigods, joined the side of Brihaspati. Thus there was a great fight, destroying both demons and demigods only for the sake of Tara, Brihaspati's wife. When Lord Brahma was fully informed by Angira about the entire incident, he severely chastised the moon god Soma. Thus Lord Brahma delivered Tara to her husband, who could then understand that she was pregnant.
Brihaspati said, "You foolish woman, your womb, which was meant for me to impregnate, has been impregnated by someone other than me. Immediately deliver your child. Immediately deliver it. Be assured that after the child is delivered, I shall not burn you to ashes. I know that although you are unchaste, you wanted a son, therefore I shall not punish you." Shukadeva Goswami continued, by Brihaspati's order, Tara, who was very much ashamed, immediately gave birth to the child, who was very beautiful with a golden bodily hue. Both Brihaspati and the moon god Soma desired the beautiful child.
Fighting again broke out between Brihaspati and the moon god, both of whom claimed, "This is my child, not yours." All the saints and demigods present asked Tara whose child the newborn baby actually was. But because she was ashamed, she could not immediately answer. The child then became very angry and demanded that his mother immediately tell the truth. "You unchaste woman," he said, "what is the use of your unnecessary shame? Why do you not admit your fault? Immediately tell me about your faulty behavior."
Lord Brahma then brought Tara to a secluded place. After pacifying her, he asked to whom the child actually belonged. She replied very slowly, "This is the son of Soma, the moon god." Then the moon god immediately took charge of the child. O Maharaj Parikshit, when Lord Brahma saw that the child was deeply intelligent, he gave the child the name Buddha. The moon god, the ruler of the star, enjoyed great jubilations because of this son.
So we're going to focus on text 3. and then I can kind of pull in what the chapter, some of what the chapter's about. That way I can honor at least the beginning. The focus verse is text 3. Yeah, that is correct, right? Well, yeah, it is. Tasyadribyo bhavat putraha samom tamaya kila viprasadi udagananam brahmana kalpita patihi tasyadribyo bhavat putraha samom tamaya kila viprasadi udagananam brahmana kalpati patihi tashadrigbyo bhyo bhavat putraha samom tamaya kila viprasadi udagananam brahmana kalpati patihi. Would someone like to repeat? Tasyadriyo bhavat putraha samom tamaya kiya viprasadi udagananam brahmana kalpita pati tasyadriyo bhavat putraha samom tamaya sadi udagunanam brahmana kalpati patihi tashadidribyo bhavat putraha samom tamaya kila viprasadi udagananam brahmanan kalpita patihi tasyadribyo bhavat putraha samomritamaya kila viprasadi udagananam brahmana kalpita patihi. I must say, very nice reading with our youth. I mean, I know your parents are proud of you, but I am absolutely in awe of how well you read. So thank you. Nice reading. Word for word, Tasya, of him. Atri, the son of Brahma. Drigbiya, from the tears of jubilation from the eyes. Abhavat, was born. Putraha, a son. Somaha, the moon god. Amritamayaha, full of soothing rays. Kila, indeed. Vipra, of the Brahmanas. Oshadi, of the drugs. Udagananam, and of the luminaries. Brahmana, by Lord Brahma. Kalpita, was appointed or designated. Pati, the supreme director. So, translation, and based on time, I'll just go through it once, and then, you can repeat after. We'll do that. I like the variations in what we're doing. And I know we're working on something, but translation from Atri's Tears of Jubilation. Was born a son named Soma, the moon, who was full of soothing rays. Lord Brahma appointed him the director of the Brahmanas, drugs, and luminaries. Purport. According to the Vedic description, Soma, the moon god, was born from the mind of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Chandrama Manaso Jataha. But here we find that Soma was born from the tears in the eyes of Atri. This appears contradictory in the Vedic information, but actually it is not. For this birth of the moon is understood to have taken place in another millennium. When tears appear in the eyes because of jubilation, the tears are soothing. Srila Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakur says, Drigbya Anandra Anasdrusurbya Atta Evam Tamayaha. Here the word Drigbya means from tears of jubilation. Therefore, the moon god is called Amritamayaha, full of soothing rays. In the 4th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, we find this verse, Atre Patni Anasuyatrin Jagne Suyasaya Sutan Tatam Duvasanam Somam Atmashe Brahma Sambhava. This verse describes that Anasuya, the wife of Atri Rishi, bore 3 sons, Soma, Devasi, and Dhanatreya. It is said that at the time of conception, Anasuya was impregnated by the tears of Atri. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhakti Tirtha Swami Naman. Namaste Krishna Prabhupada Astri Shri Guru Karuna Shakti Bhakti Tirtha Swami Naman. Namaste Saswante Vikurvani Bhajane. Namaste There are so many different ways to go with this text, but what is always interesting in our scriptures is that there's a story and there's a reason behind everything that we're reading. And actually, it starts with a disagreement. And let me read the first paragraph of chapter 14. The summary of the 14th chapter is given as follows. This chapter describes Soma and how he kidnapped the wife of Brihaspati and begot in her womb a son named Buddha. Buddha begot Pururava, who begot 6 sons headed by Ayu in the womb of Urvasi. So we find that this all, and believe it or not, this is taking place in Satya Yuga, with all of the good qualities. So you don't imagine something like this happening, but there's always potential, no matter what the yuga is. And there's always a lesson that is to be learned by it. So we should not be surprised at anything that goes on in Kali Yuga right now. Anything is possible. Fortunately, we have the foundation of the scriptures to solidify us. But this is the grandson of Brahma, Soma, who is the son of Atri, who was blissful in the begetting of his son through tears. And we're talking about the lineage. This is from Brahma. What it reminds me of is that regardless of what your lineage is, regardless of what your family background is, it isn't always a necessary guarantee that you're going to behave the way you're supposed to behave. And that's what I'm seeing here. This is what I'm getting. So Soma has been appointed over, what is it, drugs and what else is it? Yes, brahmanas. And he's performing the Rajasuya, which includes, of course, sacrificing of animals. But in this case, when they're sacrificing the animals, it's to give the animal a better life. So what's happening here is what we have been warned of. The false ego. He gets a little puffed up. He gets a little carried away. And he kidnaps Brihaspati, the spiritual master of the demigods, I believe. He kidnaps Brihaspati's wife, Tara. I'm trying to wrap my head around it in Satya Yuga, why this would take place. But the point is, it took place there. Anything could happen here. But the point is, it's very important to control the false ego. Those were key points that I was taking from it as I was going over it. We generally end up with problems when our ahankara is out of control. So, a fight ensues between Brihaspati and Soma. They're going back and forth. And in the process of it, Tara, and according to the scripture, allows the impregnation from Soma. So when Brihaspati comes to know this, there's a son that's born. And they wanted a son. Tara wanted a son. So another fight ensues. So they're going back and forth. And what is interesting is ultimately, through the text that we're reading, everything falls into place. But what really grabbed my attention is that for some reason, it wasn't a tree that was able to get his wife back. It was Brahma. And it reminds me of how this is my takeaway, one of the many takeaways. It reminds me of how important background is, family background, setting a foundation for children that are growing up, and so important in this world that children have a foundation to build from. No matter how good a foundation you put or you set in front of them, there's no guarantee that they're going to behave exactly the way they're going to behave. Which is why it's interesting that Brahma is the one that takes the responsibility of correcting the situation and going to retrieve Tara from Soma. And I find that nowadays, and I'm trying to keep within the context of what we're reading, I find that nowadays what's happening is that children are coming into the world. The process may be very enlivening, but sometimes what ends up happening is that grandparents are rearing them. That's not what happened here, but I'm just saying that in this day and age, what's happening is that sometimes parents do not want to take the responsibility. I was talking with a friend who is like a, they're social worker, very important. And they're coming across so many cases where the children are coming into the world. Once they hear the parents don't want them. So they end up trying to carve a path for that child, even though there isn't really a lot of leadership in the home. And what ends up happening, and we've known this for years, what ends up happening, and we've read it, is that, and it's not always that the parent, let me correct that. It's not always that the parent does not want the child. Parent could be too busy, but a grandparent steps in and raises the child. And that's not a bad thing, but I'm just saying different things happen. It happens now. And the scenario that I'm leaning into is the fact that a grandparent had to step in to correct this. In this day and age, I listen. I try to listen more than I talk. I really, really do, because there's a lot to be said about hearing from others. But what I hear is that the group, the children that have come after our generation and their generation, it's a different breed. Definitely a different breed. Total respect for them. However, in some instances, I'm noticing that they're pushing the elderly principles out of the way, and they're creating their own. Some of them are really good, but this old saying that we used to have, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, there are some really good principles that do come from those that are our seniors and our elders, and it would benefit us to take as much as possible, at least the positive aspects of it, from those individuals. Yes, occasionally I will watch The One-Eyed Monster, and what's always being said is that, yeah, this is what your parents did, don't do it. But if you're here right now, your parents must have done something right, otherwise you wouldn't be here taking shelter. And even if they didn't do anything right, part of the process of your karma, you're here, you can correct it. Me, I flipped the switch on how I was raised. But you have to have at least respect the elders, whether you feel they're perfect or not, because ultimately you're here, you have an opportunity to go forward and improve on whatever was done. And there's always room for improvement. None of us are perfect. None of us are perfect. The fact that we're in this material world is indicative of that. But this whole chapter, and it goes on because from that particular process of his birth, the jubilation, the tears, his birth, and then the nonsense the Soma does makes you wonder why these things happen. There's always potential for things, regardless of how perfect the yuga is. Our fortune is that in every part of the scripture, there is a lesson to be learned. These are lessons. These are life lessons. And I try to the best of my ability, try to make it relatable to what's going on in the world, trying to at least bring something that's learnable, something that you can take from this. I hope there's something that I've said that you can take from it, but the point is, it is very important to have a foundation. It is very important to take lessons from your historical past, from the lineage. But it's also possible that we will stumble and fall and make a mistake. And what's important is that we have the holy name to fall back on. No matter what's going on in the world, no matter how crazy it is, we can't say, well, what do I do? Well, this is it. I can't take it. You pick up the scriptures. Srila Prabhupada always stressed reading the scriptures. And yes, I know this is like an old song, but good association, chanting, just those basics. If you do it right and if you're sincere, the Lord is going to pull you along and help you with the rest of it. For those that have spiritual masters, you want to not, you can't copy the spiritual master, but you want to honor them, their principles. So we have a parampara, a discipleship that we can follow. So there really is no excuse why anyone does not behave according to the scriptures. There's no excuse. I'm amazed at how many people know the scriptures but don't follow the scriptures. We have a problem with that. We also have a problem, and I think it's a foundational problem. It's not just here, it's all over. How much Srila Prabhupada stressed, we are not these bodies. How often he has said, we are not these bodies. But yet and still, some of the most learned individuals look at others as, oh, this is this type of person. That's a, Understand the scriptures, follow them, at least do the basics, understand. I think if we can get beyond that part about understanding that we're not these bodies, then it's a lot easier, even outside here in the political realm, and I won't get into politics, but if we could understand that we're all one and that the point is to work together, we should be lifting each other up if someone rises a little bit higher. But even, as I said, the false ego comes into play, and we get a little distracted by that. I've gone and mentioned a couple of points. The ego, the fact that all of this took place in Satya Yuga. The fact that we're in Kali Yuga, the fact that we are blessed with the scriptures, the fact that if we go according to the scriptures, it is very important to take a guru. But even if you do not have, or you've not taken a guru, please do so. It's nice to do it. It's important. You have the scriptures. There is no excuse for misbehavior in this movement. There is no excuse whatsoever. And I believe if Srila Prabhupada were in his body, I can't tell you exactly what he would do, but he would be surprised the way it has gone. It does not mean that this is the way it's supposed to exist, where we're at each other's throats, where we're looking at each other as, this is this body, so I won't listen to you, I won't interact with you. That's nonsense. When we get to the spiritual world, if the process by which we get there is not proper, we won't get there. And the point I'm making is that this is our training ground. This is our training ground. Where you are at this point in time has been arranged either by your energy, by someone, what is it, Adhyatma, Adi Bhotika, and Adi Devika. All of that has been planned. It's wherever you are. We have at least a great amount of control on how we will deal with what comes to us. Sometimes it's like we're questioning the Lord. What? Are you kidding me? Are you doing this? There's a reason why everything happens. It's a little tough sometimes. I got to tell you that the things that me personally experience is like, really, Lord? What? Really? It's like, I can't believe you're doing this. But then when sanity sets in, it's like, there's a reason that you've done this. There is a reason. And what is that old adage, making lemonade out of lemons? Whatever the scenario is, whatever it is we're going through, whatever challenge, we have the opportunity to flip the switch, to change it so that we can be on the path back to Godhead, but in the process of it, being a very good example for those that are watching us when we go out to preach. People are watching how we interact. People are watching when they come into the temple. Those of us that are here, we should be really prime examples of what Krishna consciousness is about. If not, what is your problem? That is our responsibility. We are warriors. The battlefield is becoming even more and more intense. You have shelter. Take it. Take opportunity to speak with those that are elder or those that you feel have more information than you have. Whatever you're going through in life, we should be able to talk to a family member, and we are family. So Srila Prabhupada built a house in which everyone could live. He has given us instructions, the most perfect instructions on how to live in this house. And the question that I would ask myself is, what am I doing to honor what he has gone through? What am I doing to honor what my guru has gone through? And the message that my guru would have whenever he visited us is that I don't want you to be the same person that you were the last time I was here. Change. We should constantly be looking to change ourselves, to better ourselves. Otherwise, you're going to be awfully miserable. So, the points that are brought up, the ego, the fact that, yes, anything can happen in Kali Yuga. We should be prepared for it no matter what goes on outside of the temple or what goes on inside the temple. We have the instructions. And we look at an example of Soma, who is the grandson of Lord Brahma. And his puffed up ego gets him into trouble. And his grandfather rectifies it to a great extent. It's very important where we've come from. It is very important to take the essence, the good qualities, and use them on our path to where we're going. And it is no guarantee, whatever family you've come from, wherever you come from, that you're going to follow suit as far as what your ancestors did. It's up to you to write the script in your life, but you've got all the directions here in the scriptures, so take advantage of it. Yeah, I think I'm staying within that time frame. So does anyone have any comments? There's so much I wanted to discuss, but yes, I get a little wordy sometimes because when you're reading the scriptures and you're giving class, you go over lessons that you're supposed to learn from. So I have to say that I'm very grateful for the opportunity of being able to at least give class because it helps me remember what I'm supposed to know. So this helps me a lot. Does anyone have any comments or any questions they want to express? A realization? Yes. Mike.
Hare Krishna, thank you so much. It's always so wonderful to see and hear from you. Thank you for your class and sharing your realizations. And I was just thinking about this whole saga that ensues. Soma, he is the moon.
Mm.
He's an exalted, he's an exalted position. And yet, in this whole pastime, he performs this great Rajasuya sacrifice. Why? Because he wants to steal Tara, Brishupati's wife. And then, Lord Brahma tries, everything ensues. He tries to rectify the situation and bring Tara back to her husband. But what happens? She's been impregnated by Soma. And so this is going on, and like you mentioned, in another yuga, Satya Yuga.
Mm.
But we see that these things reflect what goes on today.
Absolutely.
So I guess my question is, we've been told this is a perverted reflection of the absolute truth, the supreme truth, and yet we see much in the scriptures about similar situations where, in a sense, it's a fall down. You kidnap someone's wife, you impregnate her, right? And this goes on in this world, and yet, so I just kind of wanted to, maybe your comments about that, if you would.
The fact that it went on in Satya Yuga?
Yes, it's a saga, isn't it? He kidnaps, Brishupati's wife, Tara. He impregnates her. These things go on in Kali Yuga all the time, and yet these are so. What is the lesson? I guess what I'm trying to say. What is the lesson?
That is
when
key.
this goes on in a higher spiritual realm, and yet it goes on here.
Absolutely key. I've always felt, and this is me, everything could have been perfect. We are given lessons to live by. Ultimately, because we are here in this material world, is actually something that never should have occurred. But in the process of it all, we have got instructions on, yes, this took place in this yuga, but you see how it's written out and how we are given lessons on how to handle what took place there, what took place in these various yugas. These are lessons. I look at them as lessons. And yes, this was one of the most perfect yugas, but it had all the potential of everything taking place. But it was written in such a way to indicate, but yes, this is possible and this did go on. But it doesn't capture the total essence of the yuga. It's just that even in the most perfect situations, for our benefit, instructions are given, lessons are given, and we're to learn from them. Not because it happened and it's like, well, heck, that happened in that yuke, so what's the problem? Why can't I do it? All of these are learning experiences. And these are the most perfect individuals. So we can't say the mindset that they have and what they did is exactly like ours. But obviously, this is me. This is me thinking. This is me talking. The Lord knew we weren't going to be perfect in this material world. It's imperfect in the first place. Yes, He gave us scenarios. And He also gave us lessons on how to rise above those scenarios. I look at them as lessons, even though they're in the most perfect yukes. They're giving us an example of even in the most perfect situations, what can happen. If it was written so that nothing ever happened and everything was perfect, I think we go mad. It's like, okay, so what do I do? Okay, so I've done this, so how do I correct this? This is all for our benefit. This is all for our benefit to learn from. And it doesn't necessarily mean that the previous yugs were just a hot mess. No, it wasn't. They were a lot better than this. But because we're here and we've seen all the things that can possibly go on, and we have the instructions on how to live and deal with it, there is no excuse why we, in this age of Kali Yuga, cannot rise above it, be an example, and stay on the path, on our way back home, back to Godhead, because you can't take this nonsense that we're doing home. It won't happen. You just have to keep repeating birth after birth. So there are instructions, but it's a different kind of a yuga. It's different. It's not this at all, but we're given the mercy of having instructions, even under the most perfect conditions. So that would be my most humble thought about that. Anyone else want to tackle that? Yes, Nanda Praj, did you want? Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much for the class.
Mm.
I was appreciating that you're saying that these are meant to be lessons for us. And Mother Kunti yesterday at Mangala Arti said to me, she mentioned something about how there's not the respect of our elders that there should be. And so when I heard you talking about something similar, I was like, maybe this is a lesson for me. But I thought it would be a really good opportunity to talk about how we are trying to do our best to live in a Vedic culture where we do have the respect. Everybody has a certain respect that's supposed to be given to them. We're not looking for respect, but we're supposed to be giving it, right? So I was thinking that yourself, Mother Kunti, and Nandini Mataji are here. I was wondering if you might give us some words of wisdom about how us younger devotees could help to create a better culture of appreciation for our elders and respect.
That's a really, really good one. Really good one. I do have definitely a thought on it. I did not realize that Mother Kunti was just so on target and mentioning it. But would you like to respond to that, Prabhu? Please.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, this is good.
I don't know. I spontaneously reveal my mind to Nanda Braja because I feel like he's a son to me. And when I feel that trust and that non-judgment, so I feel like I can really open my heart to him. And I'm not going to be labeled or, shoved aside or anything. He's just got a very big heart. And okay.
That's Krishna. That's Krishna.
I just mentioned to Manjari Gopika, who's like my big little sister here, more like a daughter. I mean, because I'm old enough to be her mom. And the long story short here is that it has to be organic. You can't say, okay, now you guys get in line. No, you can't do it. Just like the other day, Nandini and I were garlanding Srila Prabhupada and Srila Gurudev. But I was very haughty and puffed up, and I almost shoved Nandini aside and said, me first, Nandini, because I had Srila Prabhupada's garland. But what kind of attitude is that? You know, and I looked at Srila Prabhupada and said, are you even accepting this garland? I mean, because I realized how rude I was to her. And so really, it's kind of got to be organic. If the person feels that ecstasy of honoring the adult or honoring the older person, right? And Nandini's senior to me in age. I got initiated before her, but so what? We're equals. Right. And I should treat her accordingly. And if the youth see that, hey, it's not all wokeism, we can also honor our adults. You know, we can do both. The adults can honor the children, and the kids can honor the adults. So it's both ways. So I've found that's the truth in Krishna consciousness. Always. It's always simultaneous, one and difference. It's always like that. But that's just my 2 cents.
So how do we make it organic? Oh, go ahead, Manjari. Nandini?
I just, I just want to say that whenever, you're living in a community with so many different people that are from so many different backgrounds and so many different situations, and for me, every experience that happens is a very humbling experience. Sure. So that's how I take it, that I'm being humbled. That was one comment I wanted to say. And the other thing is, all glories to Radha Kanchana Kund, because she has created, from her loving heart, a situation for all senior devotees to take prasadam in the prasadam room.
Yes.
It's set up very beautifully.
Yes.
Flowers are put on the table, and there's a line of people serving out all the seniors. When there are programs upstairs, that is similar. All the older senior devotees would sit in a certain place, and the devotees would, even if the prasadam was coming from downstairs, they would bring plates up to the senior devotees. So all glories to the heart of Radha Kanchana Kund.
Thank you for mentioning that.
so
That is a very nice touch.
It's a real beautiful
Yes,
thing.
it is. Manjari?
Hare Krishna, thank you so much for this class. On this topic, I'm not that young anymore. I'm more middle-aged than anything. But on the topic of respecting elders, I've always enjoyed sitting with people. Like I used to sit with my grandfather, and he would tell me, we would go through all his photos, and he would tell me about the Great Depression. And so in that way, I learned that people older than me had really interesting lives and stories. And recently I've been listening to several lectures by His Holiness Radha Swami Maharaj on the topic of forgiveness and tolerance. And I had this realization that, wow, all of the seniors in this movement, they must have such deep wisdom that I can learn from, because they're still here. I think of all the trivial things that my false ego trips over, or my mind wants to categorize, well, I like this devotee, but I don't like that devotee. And then I look around at all of you, and Mother Kunti, Mother Antaryami, and Mother Chandravali, and Mother Nandini, and how you're serving and you're still so connected to your spiritual master. And I think I need to be more near you, and I want to serve you, because clearly you guys, for lack of a better term, know what's up, because you've been able to shove all of this nonsense aside. So that's what I see when I'm with all of you. And you're all so humble. And oftentimes I'm in the prasadam line with Mother Kunti, and I'm like, why are you here? Why are you in the back? TKG disciples to the front. What is this system? So I appreciate all of you so much. And anyway, I just hope that inspires other people to listen, because you're such wonderful examples.
Thank you for sharing. We are inspired by your generation also, and the generation that follows you. We all should be able to inspire each other. And with myself, you will not find me just interacting with one age group or with one culture. Boring. I won't do it. Besides, that's not what my spiritual master did, and that's not what Srila Prabhupada did. We all have something to learn from each other. In the scriptures, I'm trying to remember, it's called the 20 some numbered brahmanas, how you can even learn from animals. You know, we can learn from, someone told me, and then I'm going to stop, but someone told me recently that when they were growing up, they only listened to people that they thought were intelligent. And I thought, my gosh, how much you've missed, because intelligence is relative. It's like, so who determines that intelligence? Everyone has something that can be given, or something that can be learned. So thank you for sharing that. We learn from each other, and we should continue to do that. And we should also realize, and I am constantly reminded by my children and my grandchildren, you know, they're very bold, excuse me, because I was bold, but they're respectful, but they kind of take me to task. And it's like we have this open conversation, and it makes me realize even I can learn from the youngest of them all. So yeah, that was a very good point. It's a round circle. We could constantly learn from each other, and we shortchange ourselves when we look at someone and we can't connect with them. But my gosh, can you imagine how much that person has to share with you? So, good point. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Mother Antaryami,
Yes.
His Grace Rupanuga Prabhu put a quote in the chat that he wanted to share with you. Rupanuga Prabhu says, "If I had known what a pleasure my grandkids would be, I would have had them first."
Count on Rupanuga to come up with something that no one else would have thought of, but he's right. Absolutely right. I enjoy them, but then I enjoy my offspring also, but that's the way it's supposed to go. We're supposed to enjoy our family. It doesn't always happen that way. So if you're in that situation, you're blessed. If the situation is such that you don't feel it's a blessing, you are the director. You are the producer of your life. You direct it. You redirect it if necessary. That's what I found myself doing. And no regrets whatsoever. Was I perfect? No. But the point is, we can make or break our lives. It's up to us. And we have all of the they're here. It's in the scriptures. No excuse. There's a question, ask a senior, ask a child. Out of the mouths of babes. We have all of this knowledge around us. Use it. Use it. What is it? Use it or lose it? Use it. So thank you so much, everyone, for being so patient and sitting and listening. And my respectful obeisances to Radha Kalachandji Dham, to Srimad Bhagavatam, to Srila Prabhupada. Most respectful obeisance. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jai Shri Shri Radha Kalachandji Dham ki jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Thank you.
song.